Hello, everybody. It's not going to be easy for you to understand what we do. So I will start with something very simple, which are our real financial numbers. In terms of revenues, in terms of EBITDA. This is real. And this is what you normally call exponential growth. But if you like these numbers, look at these numbers. Sorry. This is the forecast we have. These 2 million sales that we had last year, audited by Ernst & Young, will become 80 million, with an EBITDA of around 40%. I still haven't said what we do. What does NBM say to generate such revenues and EBITDA? It is a dating site? No. It is a social network? It's a luxury brand? It's a Spanish roulette? No, nothing of that. It's a plastic additives producer. Something very boring, to be honest. Just for you to understand, I wrote this formula. These polymers plus additives makes plastics. Normal additives that you might know is the color. What makes this black or gray is because they put some sort of additive. Our additives are not commodities, are special additives. Are additives that, for example, extend the shelf life of the food. So these type of additives for oxygen barrier target the food packaging industry, which is a small market of around 100 billion euros. One of the other additives that we are very proud, both of them have been approved already in the USA by FDA and EPA, is antimicrobial. Antimicrobial additives, what they do is to protect surfaces, which means this carpet, the chair where you are seated, could be protected against bacteria, virus, fungi. But what makes us special is not only to do special additives, but the fact that they are based on clays, arcillas, the most cheapest common thing that you can find. And that's the reason why you saw before this huge EBITDA. Because the raw clay market price could be around 6 cents of euro, and our selling price of the same clay with a little touch of patent technology goes up to 1,250 euros per kilogram, what makes something like 99% gross margin. So we are not internet, but very close in margins. I was asked to highlight which could be the reason for our success, assuming that we have already success for the exponential growth that you saw before. And this morning you heard passion, you also heard people, and we decided to highlight persistence. Persistence on obtaining the funds for a company like this. This type of companies need to invest not in a server, needs to invest, as we have invested so far, 15 million of euros. Around 50% of these 15 millions have been invested in patents, and the other 15 in industrial production capacity. But we are very concerned about how we spend the money. So we, and Ali was mentioning before this morning, we try not to do anything unless it is unique. So if someone else is doing, if someone else is able to manufacture whatever we manufacture, we prefer them to do it. We pay for that. If someone has filed a patent in India and we consider it according with our core business, we have no problem with the margins that we have to pay 5% royalty. But as Bill Gates says, give me a good idea, a very great idea, and I will give you $1. Give me a nice idea, but convert it into a real, unique commercial product. We are not talking about internet, we are talking about things that you can touch. And then we can talk about millions. And that's what we do. We convert ideas we believe in the open innovation. 40% of our employees, we are around 40 employees at the company right now, 40% of them are PhDs, engineers that are on the R&D department. But that's okay. We don't mind if someone in India has a nice idea. We pay the 5% and that's all. But the thing is, you can convert these ideas into these commercial products. But how you do that? Passion. I know all of my colleagues are demonstrating how much passion, probably more than me. It's not my specialty to be passionate. But honestly, believe me, passion is not all. Also, we spoke about people. And of course, people is needed. And if it's passionate people, even better. But we are not in Silicon Valley. Sorry about that. We might be. Hopefully, we will be with the change in the regulations that this morning we heard, even from Europe or from Madrid. So we need to be persistent. We cannot go to the bank and ask for 1 million and say, okay, I'm going to try. And in 2 months, go again to the bank and say, you know, didn't work, but don't worry, I have another new idea, so give me another 1 million, because this is not the way it works here. To be an entrepreneur here, you need to be very rich or very poor, because if you are in the middle, probably if you play with fire, you will get burned, and you might lose more money than you have invested. So we have to be optimists, and we can be optimists. But to be optimist in Spain means to be persistent, means that it doesn't matter really, and believe me, that you have a faith on what you do, your product, your company, your team. It doesn't matter, I was listening before, we have to go abroad. Abroad, we have distributors all over the world, one subsidiary in Boston, another subsidiary in Tokyo. Only less than 20 Spanish companies has a subsidiary in Tokyo. We have one. We are going to open one in Sao Paulo, another one in India. But still, this is not a guarantee of anything. You still have to be persistent and work very hard if you want to be successful in a startup here in Spain. So this is what we do. Try to be persistent, and that's the message that we want to give you. That Spain, as Paris said, has nice companies, not only based in internet, but also in nanotechnology, which is what we do for the material science. Thanks, and sorry for not presenting videos or nice things.